challenge is called the Fugue Challenge. The goal is to make a fugue in the style of the Fugue Machine app for iOS. Basically, the whole song will be made from a single pattern, but the pattern can be played forward or backward or at different speeds. So you might make one of them play at normal speed, one of them play at double speed, one of them play half speed backwards, one of them that goes forwards and then backwards. I don't actually have this app, but after doing this challenge, I wish I bought it. I did this manually, so I made a pattern and then I manually made it go forwards or backwards or change the speed, which works great the first time until you want to modify notes, and then you have to go back and figure out which note it was all over the place, and or you just remake the pattern, the transformations. But yeah, next time I'll just buy the app. One extra rule I added was just that the drums didn't have to fit this thing at all. They're very simple. So after many iterations, this is the pattern. And then we have the pattern in the bass line, playing kind of slow. This pluck sound actually plays it in reverse, and then it plays it forward. We have this track called High Melody that plays it slowly in reverse. Finally, with this really long one called Atmosphere, which plays it forward and then in reverse, but it goes the entire length of the song, so it goes very slow. This is a very atmospheric sound. So even when the notes move fast, it's still very slow. And finally, I have this one called Cheating Bass. It plays the pattern forwards. It splits up the notes, which is not cheating, but it only uses half the pattern, which is cheating. I really needed more of a solid foundational bass line, and this part was just a little bit too busy for that. So I ended up kind of violating the spirit of this, but whatever, it sounds fine. So all of it played together sounds like this. So looking at the sounds, the cheating bass line is just a short pulsy bass. No effect. Just a little square wave that has a filter sweep. And then there's a little bit of saturation from Saturn on top of that. Sounds really nice. The not cheating bass, it's an FM style bass. It rings out a little bit longer. It's just a sine wave with sine wave FM and a little bit of extra saw wave on top. And there's a little bit of distortion here. The high melody is just a synthy sounding synth. It's got a phaser and a flanger to give it motion. There's a whole bunch of unison, and it's just a couple different waves. There's I think we're down a fifth. Oh no, it's down an octave, down 2 octaves, and then normal. And then just the filter doesn't even move, just relying on the effects to get movement. High pluck is just a high pitched pluck sound without effects. I just have a saw wave, and then I have a triangle wave that's down an octave, adding a little bit more high frequency content. On the effects, I have a delay and a compressor, so the delay just gives me some more notes. Basically, that's one of the things with this challenge, is you're limited in the notes, and so if you want more stuff happening, you can use effects for that. And then the compressor really just brings up the delay tails. That was the goal there. You can see, if you watch the full video for this, you can kind of see that coming together. I thought it was a really interesting process. And then I also have an instance of Volcano 3 here. This is just FabFilter's filter plugin. And you can see it's just automated to do a sweep coming down. Slight bit of resonance. Just to make stuff happen in the song. I did this in one day. I didn't have time to really go into things, so I had to take advantage of some sound design to make it interesting. And finally, we have the atmosphere sound, which is more complex. This is just doing granular synthesis on one of the samples that's in Pigments. So this is what it sounds like without any effects at all. And then if we turn on the effects, we have a stereo pan, a flanger, and some echo, tape echo. It's like the analog sounding delay. Let's see. I have my Pro Q3 that does nothing. I have Saturn, just adding a little bit of saturation. Barely even tell. And then Valhalla Shimmer on top of that. This really just kind of blurs out the sound and gives it that high-end sparkle. I'm always torn on Shimmer because it always sounds like Shimmer. It doesn't. I feel like it brings Shimmer character to the song, but it doesn't really feed too much off the character of the sound. But I think it worked well here. Yeah, and so that's the whole song. I think this one came out really good. It definitely makes me want to buy the app. I think next time I want to do something like this, I'll probably just buy the app. I think it makes for a really good song starter. If you don't know what you want to do, but you know you want to do something, I think doing something like this is really fun because it just gives you a whole bunch of stuff to work with. You don't have to stick to the challenge like I did. I couldn't edit the notes, but once you have something like this, there's a lot you can do to modify it. But this really is such an easy starting point where you just have to make one pattern. If you have the app, you can tweak it and listen to how that pattern plays out with all the different styles of moving around. So yeah, this one was really good. If you want to watch the entire process of making this, I'm going to put that up. The link will be in the description. I also released all of the challenge songs from this week of challenges. It's on every platform. The name of the EP is Challenge Beast Volume 1, so that link will be in the description too. And stay tuned for more stuff like this. I got 3 more coming. Peace.